So I think we go wrong when people try to understand the world around them and come up with wrong ideas. And it's natural that they would come up with wrong ideas because it's hard to figure out what's right. So we start with trying to come up with mystical explanations for the existence of the things around us. And that, I think, very quickly leads to some people being able to communicate with the mystical stuff out there, and some people not being able to communicate, and some people wanting to control other people and using those pseudo explanations as a way to control. So you always have, Rand called it Attila and the witch doctor. You always have a witch doctor, the mystic, the philosopher, the intellectual, the philosopher, king is a unity of the, and you have an Attila. You have somebody who wants to control other people, who's willing to use force to control other people. And when those two get together, that's when things go bad. And unfortunately, 98% of human history is when those two are together. And so the not having them together, having the right ideas, and the right ideas are ones that are not exclusive to those guys, and where we don't allow Attila to have that kind of physical power over us, that's an exception, and that's rare, and that's what needs to be defended.
Yeah. Stalin's not personally killing people. Hitler's not personally killing people. Charles Manson's not personally killing people. They need their goons.
They need their goons, but they don't have original ideas. Nothing Stalin says is original to him, right? He needs a Marx, even Lenin, sure. Right? They all need a Marx, right? And Marx needs a particular line of thinkers that come before him that set him up for these kind of ideas. So Stalin both needs his goons, even though he's somewhat of a goon, particularly Stalin.
Yeah, he was a bank robber, yeah.
Yeah. And then, so take Lenin. Lenin, I think, is a better example because Lenin's more intellectual, if you will. But Lenin needs his goons. He needs his Stalins. But Lenin also needs his Marx. And we don't want to let Marx off the hook because Marx knows, I think, implicitly that his ideas have to lead to Lenin and Stalin. His ideas are not neutral.
I don't think it's implicit at all. I think Marx very much glorified revolution, right. Blood and terror. This is not implicit in the slightest.
Absolutely. I mean, there are letters between him and Engels where they talk about which peoples will have to be eliminated because they don't have that proletarian thing, right? So I think certain peoples in Southern Europe are not appropriate for the utopia to come and will have to be gone.
And Marx also had this concept, which we still see today in garbled ways, of polylogism, which is if you're a capitalist and I'm bourgeois or I'm a worker, your logic is different than mine. It's literally going to be impossible for us to communicate. And at a certain point, you're going to have to be liquidated. And they pretend that doesn't mean murdered, but it means murdered. Yeah. And very quickly, everyone becomes a capitalist or bourgeois. And then you have, the Holodomor and things like this.
No, he knows exactly where it's going to lead. And this is why, people say, oh, Marx is not evil. He just wrote books. No, it's the people who write books who are responsible for the way history evolves. And they know, the bad guys certainly know the consequence of their ideas, and they need to bear the moral responsibility for what happens when their ideas are implemented.